Alright, I'm just gonna be talking over this because I was playing music and my mic wasn't recording. And mainly, this is just my Rumble experience. This is the first Rumble game I actually played. And see, the thing about Rumble, right? It feels refreshing, at least since we haven't had it since the season started. And I don't know why Bungie removed it. It's a great place for people to actually learn and have fun. I guess it was a high quit rate. It was a low population, but it had a consistent population base because it's like everyone inside a comp know each other. Even if you didn't know that, like when I used to play back in the day, it used to be, oh, I would match that guy. He knows who I am, and we became friends like that. Of course, there were those people I hated, but nothing you can do about that. And I will say, Rumble is back. It feels great, but there's a big problem. And mainly the fact that it's going to be plagued by PK Titans. And this is the thing I'm going to be honest about. Either PKs or SMGs need a nerf because they're really oppressive in PvP right now. Not the fact that Void and Arc Titan is the biggest meta, but you get what I'm saying, right? If you have played anytime recently, you know that most low man play game modes have Arc Titans, and it's getting plagued by it really bad. And not just that, Terrabug kind of got a buff with the new SMG fix they did, where they decreased how effective range was. Basically, they nerfed how good 100 range was, but they buffed how good low range was. So the range stat doesn't really matter anymore, or it's not as important. So Terrabug got an actual buff. Not just that. Another thing I will say is nice. I'm using Stompies, just so you know. And I've understood and learned how to use Stompies in the air now. And Shotguns feels great. I will say that. Slide buff, really nice. They should not have done it to begin with. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And yeah, a lot of weapons are feeling a lot better. No Time got a nerf, but it's still the best in slot. It's going to be like that. High impacts will be best in slot for a while. I think the nerf that needs to happen is either they nerf rapids and aggressives or something happens, because those are the most oppressive ones right now for pulse rifles. But for, everything else, things are feeling fine. Sidearms are still really oppressive in my opinion. I was using Drang, and Drang is insane still, even though he got a 10% range nerf or whatever you want to call it. The nerfs were small, but they were at least in place where they needed to be. And what I want to see is the removal of Stompy AE nerf. See, the thing that kind of weirds me out, right? Stompies is a movement-based exotic where you get more slide, higher jumps. So, of course, you're going to jump more. But it also makes it so you can't really shoot any guns in the air. Now, the weapon I'm using have 7 AE. Yeah, I'm using Stompies and I have 7 AE. So if it's minus 50 to base, that's how much you have with Stompies. That means my gun has 57 AE, which is a lot. And to not be using a Solar Warlock, it's pretty impressive. Now, this is not going to be a thing next season, mainly because I'm using the helmet mod, which gives you plus 15. And on top of that, my gun has 47. I'm using steady rounds with Icarus grip, which gives it 47, which is really, really good. It's actually pretty decent. So if I wasn't using Stompies, this thing would be really good in the air. It's actually able to hit headshots now, which is nice, but it's still not that great. So I hope Bungie just understands where they're going and just look more towards how it's actually playing out. Now, I want to just talk over this whole game, mainly because I can't play any of the music or the audio. So, yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is the competitive-based game mode that we have in the game, right? Comp has something called a ranking system, which doesn't matter. Did you know that? The ranking has zero effect on who you match. It's pretty impressive when you think about it. You would have thought, right, when Bungie added a ranked playlist that we actually match people based on our ranks, but that's not the case. Me, on my gold account, I only match Ascendant players because it bases you off your skill level. So, it has, what do you call it? It has skill-based matchmaking. And, skill-based matchmaking is cool and all. I see why it's there, but it kind of ruins the point for our ranked playlist, in my opinion. I want to be able to match people on my rank. I guess smurfing could be a thing, but, anyone could just make a new account. And it's a free-to-play game to begin with, though you're limited on how many accounts you can make, unless you have unlimited amount of phone numbers. I just want to see some new stuff, some actual rewards from it. I guess Rose is cool and all. I'm loving Rose. It feels great and amazing. But there's no ornament for going Ascendant or anything at all. So I hope Bungie knows that and figures that out. And also, going through the blog yesterday that they came out with, right? The one that showed all the weapons coming back. There were 4 weapons that I noticed weren't there. It was Criminal's Dagger, Steady Hand, Palindrome, and Igneous Hammer. What do they all have in common? They're handguns. It's kind of unfortunate that we're not getting them back, but there's nothing we can do about it. And yeah, that's my game. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I love you all. And yeah, I'll see you around.